We're knights of the round table, we dance whenever we're able. We do routines, we call the scenes, the footwork impeccable. We dine well here.
So he's going to start by searching. Ooh, and he gets a bastard sword. Hey, that's useful. That lets him open a door. So 1, 2, 3, he's going to try to open that door. Double ones will not do it. Let's try it again. 2 and a 3 will still fail. So, because it's 2 to bastard sword, it's 2 dice hitting on 4s. So Beauregard's like, which end do I hold on to? How does this thing work? He's so used to using a bow. That's unfortunate, because I was hoping that Mortimer could have hopped into, because this is going to spawn still. I was hoping Mortimer could then hop in and start killing stuff. And remember, there's no line of sight into or out of a vault, so this room cannot see this room, so the ranged attacks won't work. But not much we can do there. Alright, so we start with Orange Montalban, who has a longbow and he has speed. So let's go ahead, he'll go ahead and shoot with the longbow. Okay, and that will kill him. Sure, he'll just take him. That's not a big deal. So that was 1. He'll search for 2. The Shield of Ages, another orange item. It's a shield that gives shove and some armor. Got a fair amount of armor. The shove skill's nice though. So 1, 2. He'll go 3. What does he want to do with his 4th one? Or does he want to give Chauncy something? You know what? Let's go 3. Let's give Chauncy, I'm going to give Chauncy the shield. And take Disintegrate. And then 4, he's going to use speed on himself to go 1, 2. He's going to come, he's got Disintegrate. The Disintegrate spell he can potentially give to, and speed, that he can give to Bob. Not that Bob has to have all of the spells, but Bob does get a free magic action for combat magic spells, and +1 to dice roll magic he could get, or spellcaster to get another free action for casting spells. So spells can be a little bit more useful in his hands in that regard, but certainly better than the Mana Blast spell, which is the only one he has right now. But enough rambling. On to Mortimer. So Mortimer needs to try to open the door. Well, he knows how that works, so he opens this door for 1. Boom. And it gives us another noise. So everybody's coming. Everybody wants to come here, which means actually they're all coming this way because they can't see anybody. Which could be interesting. We do have to watch out for that necromancer over there. So somebody's going to need to come back this way at some point, or come back this way and kill that necromancer. Simply because I don't want him to get off the table. So, but we have to spawn. So let's spawn the close one first, which is the Abomination. That is not good. Boom. And the back one is 2 walkers. Huh. Well, I have nothing to kill that Abomination. So now, the Abomination, if we look at his rules, the Abomination says that he attack whenever they activate while having a line of sight on a survivor at range 0 to 1. Then they perform an attack on all survivors in all zones at range 0 to 1. So, what that means is, even though these are adjacent, there's no line of sight, so he is actually not going to attack. He will move in here with us. Okay, that's what I wanted to see. But basically he's got a range, he kind of has a ranged attack and an area of effect attack. So basically if he did attack, each of us would take 1 wound. You know, we'd get attacked once. But since he cannot see, he won't. So in that case, that was 1. I think he wants to give the shield to Beauregard, and then he's going to leave because we need to find something that can kill an Abomination. So we'll give, just in case, we'll give the shield to Beauregard to help him defend. We've got to decide what Beauregard. I think Beauregard's not going to give anything. He's going to keep that for now, and he's going to wield the. I might as well wield the bastard sword. You had the choices between the short bow. So Mortimer still just got the great sword. So it's 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to take the risk. I'm going to search for 4. This could be dangerous. Finds lightning bolt, which, well, it gives him a ranged attack. Well, that's what I can say. Gives him a ranged attack. All right, Bob. All right, so we need to kind of come up and trade here. So let's go 1. Come up here. 2. We're going to trade with Gilbert. So we're going to grab the fireball. We're going to grab the death strike. We're going to give Gilbert the Dragon Fireblade, the Plenty of Bolts, and the Orcish Bow. Not that Gilbert needs any of those. The Dragon Fireblade will be useful at some point, but he can also trade it off. Nobody needs. Actually, the Plenty of Bolts would be good for Chauncy. Oh, and the leather armor. Great. I was going to give Gilbert leather armor so he can take some hits there. So that was 1, 2. He still has his torch, so he's gonna search. He probably should have searched first. I just thought about that, but he gets a Plenty of Bolts and a sword. Okay, and then as a 4th action, you know, it's not really worth trading anybody. Well, given there's an Abomination that way, I think we all need to come this way. So I think he's going to move back down into the vault. We're all, I guess we're meeting up down in here. That's about what I'm going to say, is we need to pull back from the Abomination. Now we need this axe, and we need to kill the Abomination. And it is Chauncy's turn. Chauncy could use the Plenty Bolts. He's the only one with a crossbow. So he'll go ahead and search first. Again, we need Dragon Bile. The healing spell could come in handy. So 1. 2, 3, 4. Alright, and that Chauncy was the last person. So, zombies get to move. Comes a Blobination. They will move there. This is still the noisiest zone. Despite 3 noise over there, but there's 4 noise here. Because again, models count as 1. So, so everybody's going to be funneling this way. So he's going to go 1, he's going to go 1, 2. 1, 2. He moves 1. Moves 1. Moves 1. And then we will spawn. So we're going to spawn down here in yellow, so 1 fatty. Spawn up there. 2 NPCs. Spawn over there. 1 wolf abomination, which is unfortunate again. And this is where I was starting to be like, well, I don't know if this group of characters is going to work real well because of the number of abominations. And then the necromancer spawn point, just the abominatroll. Whoa, alright. Well, we just need to kill 1, and we need to take that axe. So, we need to get to a point where we can kill an abomination. And then conceivably Beauregard... let's see, Montalban has hit and run. He actually might be a good person, orange, so Montalban up here, might be a good one to try to get by him to get that axe, because he's got hit and run. Although I don't know if that's necessary. There's not really any more spawns coming over there. I think Beauregard might even be able to go through. He does have the shield. You know what? He's got the shield, so he's actually probably in a good shape to just step out. Since there's no line of sight, he's going to go towards the noisiest zone. So as long as he's not the noisiest zone, as long as there's somebody that has, you know, oh, actually, yeah. So as long as he's not in the noisiest zone at the time, and these get to clear up, then the blob will head out the door this way, and he can just pick up that axe once he cleans up those 2 walkers. And then at that point, it's just a matter of getting something to kill 1 of the 3 abominations that are on the board. First player moves to Beauregard. So I'm actually gonna do that. So we're gonna go 1, 2 to move out. 1 + 1 for an extra zombie. And then he's got a couple swings. He has the Bastard Sword and the Dwarven Shield equipped right now. So we got Bastard Sword is 2 dice hitting on 4s, doing 2 damage. So not that the 2 damage matters. So he's basically got 2 swings to kill these guys. 2 dice on 4s. That kills 1. The second swing, got a 4 and a 3, so 4 will kill it. So that kills both of them. That's going to be 4 experience for him because he's got Collector Walker. That puts him up to 14. So that was all 4 of his actions. So next turn he can pick that up, and he will actually go into orange. So I actually might want to wait for him to pick that up. It does give him a free combat action in orange, or Reaper combat. I think the free combat action is probably going to be a little bit more powerful, but we'll have to see about that. But that's all he's going to do. So now we're on to Montalban, who's in orange. So again, we're kind of running this way, but we also need to search. So you know what? Let's search. Chain lightning, another spell, not great, but could be useful. I mean, it is 3 dice in on 5s with potential to do a lot more hits. So 1, 2, 3. He's gonna give disintegrate. He's going to take the sword from Bob, give Bob the disintegrate spell, and the, you know what, he's going to give them both, the disintegrate and the chain lightning. No, you know what, we'll keep the chain lightning. Dude's got fireball. Just give him disintegrate. Pair of short swords. He's got the one sword's better than a pair of short swords, so that's not a big deal. And the longbow, and let's see. And Gilbert doesn't really need anything either. So 1, 2, 3, and then 4. He'll step down into there. Oh, actually, I guess that's where he was. My bad. So he stepped down into there and then traded. I forgot that Bob, that wasn't Bob that was in that room. They were all in there. Okay. That works. Alright. And now yellow. So Montalban. So he doesn't want to, or Mortimer, I mean, he doesn't want to stay there. There is a runner there that he has to be careful of. He doesn't really want to stay here. Fortunately, he does not have anything that can kill that fatty, though. Well, let's search. Let's see what he gets. Another plenty of bolts. That's kind of useless. So 1. Let's go 2. Oh no, he can't kill the fatty. And the fatty gets hit before the runner, so his lightning bolt won't help. Yikes. Alright, Mortimer's in kind of a rough spot here with just that greatsword. So he's essentially just gonna stay there. I guess he's gonna make a noise just to try to help pull zombies if possible. No, actually, you know what? I think if we decide, because we've got Bob and Chauncy who both can come up and both can shoot into there. So I think he actually will move here and then make a noise. I'm counting on them to at least to kill both of these guys. That is the plan. Cross your fingers. So that is what Mortimer does. So Bob will hop up. Boom. Now he equipped, after that trade, he equipped Disintegrate and Death Strike. Not sure it's necessarily a great idea, but the Disintegrate just in case he's needed to kill the Abomination or attempt to kill the Abomination. So he's going to come up, and the Death Strike obviously so he can try to kill the fatty. So he's going to come up, so 1, 2 to shoot with the Death Strike. A 4 will succeed. That puts a noise here. Gives him experience point. You know what? 3. He's going to search. Gets another Mana Blast spell, which he can't hold. We don't need to open any more doors, so I'm just going to drop. Well, he might need the axe because he doesn't have a melee weapon. So we'll get rid of the Mana Blast. He doesn't need the Mana Blast. No point in dual wielding it when he's got Fireball. And then I'll take one more shot at the runner. and misses. That makes another noise. Alright, Chauncy is going to go 1, 2, 3 to shoot the crossbow at the runner. So 2 dice hitting on 4s. Got a 4 and a 3, so 1 hit will kill. Gilbert does get to go, so let's go ahead and have him search for his last action, and he finds some chainmail armor. Alright, last but not least is Gilbert, who will go... Yeah, again, we need to kind of work this way. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3 to search. Finds a sword, which is not better than the orcish bow he's got, but I mean, they can be dual wielded if I can get hooked up with Montalban. If he catches up, somebody can dual wield the swords. No point in moving anywhere. Does he want to trade anything to anybody? No. Well, actually, wait. Who's in with him? You know what? He's going to give him... No. No, I think we're good. I was just thinking of giving the Dragonfire Blade up. But right now, Gilbert doesn't have a weapon that lets him kill a fatty. So other than that, now he needs to get into orange to get that. So it's unlikely that it'll happen, but that is what it is. That way we try to get everybody at least an option to kill a fatty if there are some. So what have we got? So this is the noisiest zone with 5. So this is where everybody's going. So he's going to move here, move here, move here. He moves here. Technically, you move everybody 1, then you move anybody who has more than 1 action a second time, then you move anybody who has a 3rd action a 3rd time. So we'll just try to play it by the rules a little bit, just so you can see. Okay, now 2nd actions. The troll only gets 3 actions if he can see somebody. Basically, he rages. Alright, and then 3rd action for the wolf abomination. That's going to be the challenge. May need to have somebody run in here to make a bunch of noise and try to draw them away from here, because he moves 3 and we don't have anything that can kill him yet. But spawning, so spawning here. One fatty. Oh, sorry. 3 walkers. We get the right line. We are still in yellow. Okay, up top, 4 NPCs. To the right, 2 fatties. And then the Necromancer, 1 NPC. Alright, not horrible. Okay, we can take off the noise tokens. Oh, and I forgot he moves. Can't forget him. And first player token moves to Montalban. Okay. He is orange. Let's see. So who else has a sword? Gilbert. Gilbert here has the other sword. Okay, so that actually probably wouldn't be too bad. So let's go 1, 2 to trade. Let's take the sword from Gilbert. We'll go ahead and give him, well, he doesn't. We'll give him the speed spell. 2, 3, and then he's going to attack. So, with 2 swords, he's got 4 dice. Hitting on 4s. And he got 4 hits. Wow. Okay. That wasn't what I was expecting. So, because basically, Montalban is hit and run. Which means, as long as he kills 1 zombie, he gets a free move out. Doesn't cost him anything extra for the zombies in his space. So I figured it was worth a shot to get him that free, basically that attack. Try to reduce it down for everybody. But hey, with 2 swords, that's 4. Puts him up to 12 experience. So 1, 2 to trade, 3 to move, 4 to attack. He still can move, which I think he will still move back here, because that's kind of where we're trying to lead them back through here. That's the best option we have. But he cleared the path, which is exactly what we needed. So Montalban is going to go 1, 2, 3 to search. He finds a second greatsword, so interesting. So Chauncy is red. Who is there? Okay. Let's do this simply because we can do this. As for his 4th action, he's going to trade with Chauncy. Give him both the greatswords. So Chauncy is now using his swordmaster to dual wield greatswords. So it's 10 dice hitting on 5s every time he attacks. Fortunately, it's only 1 damage. So that is less than useful. Good news is it does give Mortimer does have plenty of bolts, so he does now have plenty of bolts for the crossbow. And if need be, of course he's not an orange yet, Chauncy has the Shield of Ages. But that is all Mortimer is going to do. All he can do. Because that was 1, 2, 3 to search, 4 to trade. It is now Bob's turn. So now Bob could conceivably attempt to run forward and shoot the blob, but it's not worth it. So let's search first. See what we get. Plate armor. Bob likes drawing some armor here. So that's 1. You know what? Let's give 2. We're going to trade with Gilbert. Probably not necessarily the greatest idea, but the idea of the plate armor and the Ironheart means he has a 2+ save, which means he can try to take up all the armor, or all the hits. That was 1, 2 to trade with him. And you know what? Let's give him I'm also going to give him the torch. And have Gilbert equip the torch right now instead of the axe. Simply because he doesn't really need the axe equipped. We're not opening doors, and we still need to find some dragon bile or a 3 damage weapon. So that was 1 to search, 2 to trade. Not much he can do. I don't want to pull back yet. I think next turn everybody will pull back. The Wolf Abomination will be 1, 2, 3, and the runner will be here. So at that point, we'll just have everybody run through purple and head out this way. But that'll be next turn, as long as they don't have extra activations. And if they do, he can soak it up. The only difference being Beauregard can't, and he's got the, you know, protect from abomination stuff. But we do have the healing spell, so we're in good shape. We just need to be able to kill an abomination. So I think that's all Bob's going to do. We're all just going to hang. They're all going to hang out there, except for Beauregard. They're all going to hang out there. And so then it is Chauncy's turn. So Chauncy's going to search, because they could have given him the torch. They could have passed the torch on, but you know, he's busy dual wielding the greatswords. So we get another lightning bolt, which I don't really care. And he's just gonna hang out there. Yeah, I don't really want to deal with anything else. So that's all he's gonna do. We just need to search. We'll start with Gilbert. So Gilbert gets to search twice, or search with the torch. So an extra card, and he gets a repulse and a hand crossbow. Okay, so repulse is pretty awesome. Basically it's a shove, but it has a spell. The hand crossbow, I mean, he's got the plenty of bolts, but he already has the orcish bow. But he's going to equip the repulse. He's going to drop the... Oh, jeez. What does he get rid of? I guess he gets rid of the axe, because he was full up. And then he's going to trade the torch to Mortimer, who will go ahead and equip it instead of the hammer for the moment. I'm just looking at the sequence of play. Mortimer's going to be first player next turn. We will have a zombie coming in with us next turn, which means Mortimer probably doesn't want to use the crossbow. Maybe he wants to have the hammer equipped instead of the crossbow for next turn anyway. Oh, the downside is actually he's not going to want to search. Oh, actually, you know what? I've completely been forgetting that there is an open door here, and they can actually shoot this guy. So Gilbert has actions that he can do. So 1, 2, 3. He's going to shoot. Misses. He has. Does he have plenty of bows? Plenty of arrows? No, he has plenty of bolts. No. So one more. 2 1s. Jeez, really? All right. Well. I mean, I completely forgot these people should have been shooting at him, but you know, it's a disadvantage of having one person and filming, where you kind of lose track of some things on the board. So I had a couple people like Bob could have shot at him, had a couple wasted actions. Oh well, it will make things difficult for Mortimer next turn. That is the gist of it. That's all. And last is Beauregard, who is going to search, and he finds a shield, which doesn't help since he already has a shield. He's not going to pick up that other X because that would put us into orange, which we don't want to do orange yet until we're able to kill an abomination. No need to spawn extra stuff. So that is the end of the player turn. So zombies are going to move. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. It's actually cheaper to go this way. So if I had been paying attention. Okay. But, well, 1, 2, 3. I just said completely did not pay attention to that door there. People should have run last turn. We might want Beauregard to, I was going to say come out and try to give that shield. Well, we can repulse them away. So That is the thing to do, is grab the repulse from Gilbert, push them away, and then everybody run. Simply because he's got 3 actions, so they need to get farther away. That said, did I move everybody? I did. So we need to spawn. So still spawning in yellow. We have 1 fatty over here. Not a big deal. Up top, the Abomina rat. Now, so the rat, his special deal is he spawns adjacent to the noisiest zone. So he can either spawn here or he can spawn here. So we might as well spawn him here. And then over on the right, we have 3 wolves. And then the spawn for the necromancer is the necromancer. So the necromancer is going to move again. So we do have to be careful of the necromancer there, unfortunately. So we need to figure out how we're going to stop him from getting off the table, or if we even do. Again, we're poised to take that last one. We just need a way to kill the abomination, which we don't have other than the potential of the disintegrate spell, which is 3 dice hitting on 5s. I would have to roll 2 6s to make it a 3 damage weapon to be able to kill an abomination. So that is unlikely. It's possible, but it is unlikely. But that was all the spawning. So first player moves to Mortimer. Alright, so I guess the first thing that has to happen is we need to push these guys off of us. So 1 to grab Repulse from Gilbert, which he'll equip instead of the crossbow right now. So he's got the crossbow and the torch. 2 to repulse these guys. Let's repulse them out here. Doesn't really make a big difference, but we'll put them in that one. And then he'll go 3, 4. Because run away! Run away! Alright. Bob. I don't think it's worth trying to shoot into there. It might be worth... Now, let's just go 1, 2, 3 to search. Finds a crossbow. Well, we got plenty of bolts. Let's get rid of a mana blast. I know we don't need a mana blast. We'll go ahead and step him back. Chauncy. Alright, Chauncy with his dual greatswords. Red. Again, we're just kind of, I think we're going to run away. 1, 2, 3 to search. Fireball. And 4, I'm going to give Mortimer the Shield of Ages, because that gives him the shove skill, which is like the repulse. We'll swap in, we'll give Chauncy the repulse. Although it does mean Mortimer's going last. So maybe I don't want to, yeah, I don't need the 2 greatswords. So we'll give Chauncy the repulse, which he'll equip instead of one of the greatswords. And we'll give the torch back to Mortimer here. Okay. So that was Chauncy. So it was now Gilbert. We'll kind of do the same thing. We're running away. So 1, 2, 3 to search. Looking for some dragon bile. A bastard sword. Well, he could theoretically... Oh no, there's no equipping. Beauregard's got the other bastard sword, so... you know what, and he'll equip the speed instead of the bastard sword, because the orcish bow is going to be just plain out better. 2 dice hitting on 3s. So 2 dice hitting on 4s, and there's no need for a 2 damage weapon right now. But he has it there if he needs it. And he's going to hang out there. They're just going to hang out there so they can spread around wounds if need be. And... Alright, Beauregard. He's simply going to search. Dragon Bile. Okay. Okay. So, now he needs to find a way. I guess he's since we need to get together with the torch, which they all have, so he needs to kind of try to run this way. Now he doesn't have an axe, does he? I think I got rid of all the axes, so I'm going to have to try to open the doors. So let's deal with it next turn. Not going to open a door yet. Actually, it's probably not a bad idea to open the door now. I mean, he's not in line of sight, so these guys are still going to move this way. So it's just whatever spawns here that's going to have to be dealt with. Which I think he can do, since he's got the shield and the bastard sword. So I do have to be careful of him getting into orange, however. And conceivably, these fellows can go that way and try to help. So let's do that. So he'll go ahead and try to open the door. Actually, no. 1, 2 to move. 3, 4. He only gets 2 actions. Actually, no. Well, so he'll wait till next turn. Next turn, he'll try to like run across. We'll try to do it together when both sides can work on that. So it is orange. It is Montalban, who will go. He's gonna do. So he'll go 1, 2. You know what? 3. We might as well search again. You know what? No, he's gonna help. 3, 4. He's going to help over here to try to get them all running together. I think this is going to work, coming down kind of to the wire. And that was the last player, so the zombies get to move. So they move in. The blob moves there. He's going to move that way because he's heading towards the exit. They move there. Now, the question is, what is the closest direction for these guys? Because it might be faster to go in there. This is the noisiest zone, obviously. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's actually, everything's going to split. When they get to it from here, they're going to split. If they have a chance. 2, 3, because it's the same. That's the noisiest zone. So move, move, move. Okay. So spawn. 2 wolves. That is not a good place to get some wolves. That's really close to us. Sorry. Okay, up top, still in yellow, 4 walkers. We've actually been doing pretty well at not killing too much stuff to keep the spawns down. Over on the right, duh, 2 walkers, or 2 NPCs I mean. And the Necro spawn point. 2 runners. All right. First player marker passes to Bob. So Bob cannot open doors. He does a death strike and a disintegrate. Oh, no, sorry. We do have runner moves. He moves. The wolves move. He just spawned. So the wolves move. So the wolves are going to split. I'm just going to move them there 3. 3. And he moves his 3rd one to hang out with these fellows here. So first player moves to Bob. Bob, what are you going to do? You are not going to disintegrate in there. Can't open a door. So there's not a lot he can do. There are two wolves there. So I think for one, he's going to trade out his death strike for a fireball. 2, 3, he's going to fireball those wolves. 3 dice on 4, that kills 2. Good. And puts a noise. Gets him 2 experience points, and then he will search, which gets another dragon bile. Okay, doesn't have. I didn't even realize Bob does have an axe, so he could have conceivably swapped and done that. I think that was a good. This was still a good choice for him. So it was 1, 2, 1 to swap, 2 to move, 3 to attack, 4 to search. So he's done. So now Chauncy, Mr. Red. He will repulse for 1. Two, 3. 4, he's going to take a swing to try to open that door. He has 1 great sword equipped. Need a 5, got a 6, and there is a 5. So that opens this door. Perfect. That did make a noise in this room, which could matter for where the noise this room is. All right, Gilbert. There was no noise there because he repulsed. So 1. Gilbert. Who's got the most? Let's see. We need. So who's got the torch? So yellow. Mortimer has a torch. He's got a dragon bile. He's got a dragon bile. He's actually going to be closer. So we'll have him go there, but we can come in here and try to help this. So he's going to use, he's got speed equipped and his orcish bow. So he's going to use his speed for 1. Actually, he was here. He's going to use his speed. That lets him move 2 spaces. Actually, I could let him move 2 spaces. That's actually probably a better idea. 2, 3, 4. He's going to shoot into the zone with his orcish bow. 2 dice hitting on 3s. He hits once. Does he have arrows? I don't remember. No, he has plenty of bolts. So he kills 1. That's right. 1 is better than none. Puts him up to 10. Alright, so is now Beauregard, who is going to attempt to open the door. So 2 dice and 4s. Got a 5 and a 6, so that will hit. So that is 1. 2. Attack. He doesn't. He's using the bastard sword, so he only hits once. 3, and that gives him 2 experience. Oh, he can only afford to kill 1 more. If he kills 2, then I'll put him into orange. So I think he's got 1 action left. You know what? He's going to put away the bastard sword and he's going to equip the short bow. That is what he's going to do with his fourth action. I guess theoretically, actually, maybe he could quit. He's got the shield, the dwarven shield. He's got a shield in his body slot because he can do that. And the dwarven shield in the hand. Maybe he'll equip the dragon vial. I don't know how the turn order is going to come about, and I don't know if that will help. But he'll have it equipped and be able to throw it possibly. All right, Montalban, orange. He was just going to step out here. 1. He's got 2 swords, dual wielding swords, so 4 dice. 2 to attack. Actually, he's got hit and run. Theoretically, I could trade to get the dragon vial. Well, we don't really need it because we've got the Mortimers there. He's going to be the one. All right, so yeah, we don't have another way to ignite quite yet until we get into orange. So 1 hit. Oops. And 1 more swing kills the other one. So he gets him two experience points. Puts him to 14. Alright, so we're at Mortimer. So Mortimer is going to grab some dragon bile from Bob. So he's got the torch and the dragon bile equipped. Now let me take a look and see where things are going to be. So he's here, and he's actually going to move. Noises zone's here, so he's going to go 1, 2, 3. So he's actually going to go there. Unless he can see somebody, which I don't really want him to do, since he's got 3 actions. In essence, all right, but we'll get if we get him in there, that'll be a good idea. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's going to be the good play. And that was the end of the round. So zombies move. So these guys are going to, again, the noisiest zone's theirs, and now all those doors are open. So these guys are all going to go this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. So they're going to go this way, and I'm just going to move them since it's not going to make a huge difference. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so he's actually going to come in. Going to go that way. These guys move here. These guys come out there, and then he goes here. These guys all move in here. One, 2, 3. Necromancer goes there. Runners move another space. Alright, that was all the movement. So, spawn here, we're still in yellow. Managed to get away with that. 2 walkers. Up top, the Necromancer moves. So the Necromancer gets off the board, which makes this one a permanent spawn. We can live with that though. And nothing spawns up there, which is good. So now we have 2 spawns over here. So we have the Abomina Rat. So the rat's going to move again. Brings him up here. Take the noise off, probably. Alright, and the second one that was here is a double spawn, so that's going to spawn 2 more cards over here. Which is standard walkers get an extra activation. Okay. NPCs count as standard walkers for all intents and purposes. And the second one, 2 runners. 2 more runners. Okay. Well, that was all the spawning, though. Not horrible. And I think we've got it. I think the knights have got it. First person moves to Chauncy. So, Chauncy has Repulse equipped. Guess what? Chauncey's going to repulse him back by 1. Boom. Oops, put a noise there. We do need to get that X though. Okay. Just because 2, he's going to equip his second greatsword and put repulse away. 3, he's going to move in here. 4, he's going to roll his 10 dice. He's dual wielded greatswords. First time that he's been able to dual wield them. 10 dice hitting on 5. And he gets 3. You know what? Let's just kill them. Puts them to 14. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That was his 4 actions. So you got to at least dual wield the greatswords once in the game. Made use of his sword master ability. So now we have Gilbert. You know what? Gilbert's going to do this. He's going to go 1, 2 to attack with the Orcish bow in the melee. So 2 dice hitting on 3s. Got a 6. That will kill him. 3, he's going to use speed, which he still has equipped. He still has Orcish bow and speed equipped. To go 1, 2 for his 3rd action. And 4th action, he's going to pick this one up. Boom. Gives him 5 more, so it puts him up to 16. Still not quite an orange. You know, after all that time where Beauregard was hanging out over there, Gilbert sneaks in, steals it from him. Speaking of which, Gilbert's turn, or Beauregard's turn, I mean. Well, you know what? Beauregard's he's gonna get in on the action this. He's gonna go 1. He's gonna do 2 to throw the Dragon Bile that he has. instead of the dragon bile that was picked up earlier. He's going to throw that there. And then 4, because it's going to get awfully... He doesn't want to be in the burning building. He's going to step back out. Alright. Montalban with his dual-wielding swords. So he'll step forward, 1, and then he'll attack. 2, he kills 2 of them. And, you know, he'll collect them, why not? Since he already had 1, won't matter. He has no range, so 3, he's just going to step back here. I know there are 2 wolves there that are only 2 away, but here's the finale. We have Mortimer, who has a dragon bile and a torch in hand. He's not going to throw the dragon bile, because there are more abominations. Not for this game purposes, we don't need to worry about it, but he's going to throw Mr. Torch here. Boom! Because Mortimer's right here. Boom! Kills them. Gives him 6, which puts him up to 15 experience. Boom! And that wins the game. Hooray! Huzzah! The Knights of the Round have been successful. They've killed necromancers. They have finally killed an abomination. Definitely struggling against the abominations, and I may need to tweak that. For game purposes, it may be a little too tough for this group of characters. There are a couple 3 damage weapons, but then there's another Disintegrate. Yeah, there's nothing close. It may be a little too much in the way of abominations. And you can see we had 4 abominations. We're in yellow, and we had 4 abominations. So you may want to. I may tweak that to only make 1 copy of the abominations, because I think I have 2 of each for this session, or say there's only 1 abomination at a time, and then any other abomination cards that would spawn an abomination spawn a fatty instead. I may like that, and that way I don't have to take cards in and out of the deck. I can just leave it at the 2, which seems to work well when you've got characters, at least 1 character who has either super strength or +1 damage. So I may rule like that. Feel free to let me know what you think, what you want to suggest. If you like the idea of just having 1 abomination at a time and then spawn fannies, or if you want me to pull up some cards, so there's still the possibility of having multiple abominations, but the abominations just aren't going to spawn nearly as much. Basically only 1 per type of abomination. You know, something like that, or if you have another suggestion. I know I've seen on the Board Game Geek forums, just leaving the original, you know, however many abomination spawn cards are. I think that's like 2. But then randomly deciding what kind of abomination spawns each time, or something like that. You know, that's a little bit more work, a little more complicated, I think, but certainly doable. Hey, comment. Let me know what you think. Again, the Knights of the Round were successful. They've got an interesting mix of abilities. You know, again, some are a little weaker than others. Collector Walker, I'm not a big fan of on Beauregard, simply because early on you have to be really careful on what you kill. Later on, it could be really good, but as a blue skill, I don't like it, because you want to stay in blue as long as possible if you can. Starting with a greatsword is I mean, it's okay. It's nice. It's a you know, decent weapon, but it's not great. I really wish it was a 2 damage weapon, kind of like the chainsaw. Swordmaster, obviously, you know, as everybody knows, is just pretty much worthless. It could have been good, you know, if this quest had been a longer one, because I finally got 2 greatswords and he can duel with greatswords, so that's 10 dice hitting on 5s. Still only doing 1 damage, but it would be good for kind of cleanup of things. But hitting on 5s isn't great. Although in orange he does get +1 to dice roll melee, which means he's hitting on 4. So that's excuse me. So that's probably, you know, that's going to be a good thing. But you know, the only 2 weapons that are dual wieldable are not dual wieldable that apply to Swordmaster are the Bastard Swords and the Great Swords. Now, granted, I did in this game have 2 Bastard Swords eventually and 2 Great Swords, but I mean, it just wasn't going to be useful enough. I mean, that wasn't until towards the end of this quest. Might have worked. Most of the time, you don't find 2 Bastard Swords or 2 Great Swords. You don't have 2 of either one of those, and it becomes a useless blue skill. I wish it had again a little bit more versatility. Like you can use any 2 weapons. Like one, you know, any weapon can be treated as a dagger. Personally, that's my personal sort of preference, and then I would house rule would be for Swordmaster is, you know, any melee weapon can be treated like it was a dagger, so it gives +1 die to whatever you choose as your main weapon. So you could have a hammer and a short sword, you know, and basically use the sword as a hammer, or you could have a sword and a hammer. Sword being 2 dice in, of course. So then you have the option of, well, if you need to kill a fatty, now you got 2 dice hitting on 4s against the fatty, or 3, you know, using the sword as a dagger, or you have 3 dice hitting on 4s if you have, you know, using the hammer as the dagger as your offhand +1. I like that better. It makes it more versatile, especially starting early on. I would actually I'll probably even rather have that than say dual wielding greatswords. Simply because, again, it so rarely happens. I would probably just completely change that until they come up to a point where you can dual wield more items, or, for example, if you have it apply to vault weapons, or you know, like, or things like the special ones, the ones that aren't named the same. So let me kind of show you an example. I know this is kind of rambling on, but you've got the Flaming Greatsword. Okay, even though it says Greatsword in the name, it is not the same as a Greatsword. So you cannot dual wield these, right? Or you know, you've got the Earthquake Hammer, right? It says, even though it has hammer in the name, technically you cannot dual wield a hammer and an Earthquake Hammer. Okay? Now, if you said Swordmaster allowed you to do that, then, you know, that might be another option. You know, Quicksilver Sword. Okay? Not dual wieldable, but unless you have another card that says Quicksilver Sword, you can't dual wield it with a regular sword. And there's only one of these. I mean, the Earthquake Hammer, there's only one. The Quicksilver Sword, there's only one. So, I might make that an option. You know, that still kind of sucks, because it still means you're still waiting for a draw of one of these really good cards to make Swordmaster useful. But it makes it more useful because at least you have more options for weapons to dual wield than just Great Sword and Bastard Sword. And granted, all those magic ones are all like yellow or orange that you have to get into. So it's still going to be a little bit of time before you can use it, but you know, that might be another option. Anyway, long story short, I know I'm rambling. Let me know what you think we want to do for Swordmaster. I think that's going to kind of, if making some sort of house rule for this series will make Chauncy a little bit more useful. Other than that, I like everybody else. I keep forgetting Bob is lucky, although he didn't attack too many times in this game, but he gets re-rolls. You know, I didn't really use the hit and run, but that can be very useful. Obviously, I didn't use the iron hide because I didn't get attacked. I didn't get attacked in this mission very often. Actually, I don't think I got attacked at all, which is the way it should be. The way you really want to be. You want to avoid getting attacked. But thank you for watching. The Knights of the Round were successful again in completing this mission and this quest. Surviving, things looked kind of bleak. But they pulled it off at the very end when they were running out of time, getting surrounded by abominations. So thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't, you know, feel free please to hit the like and hit the subscribe button. You know, I've been pretty consistent with getting episodes out every week. I'm still looking at trying to get more content up per week. It just depends on my schedule. But I do have this series, as well as my Shadows of Brimstone, which is definitely weekly and has been for over a year now. So like and subscribe, I hope, and I will see you, if not next week for Brimstone, and 2 weeks for the third quest for the Knights of the Round. Thanks. Bye.